the sport of cricket. Crickets. Buddy Holly's backup band. Is there a difference? Of course there is. They're three different things. I just mentioned that. Listen to I Don't Know About That with Jim Jefferies. What are you, a fucking simpleton? One's a band, one's a sport, one's an animal.
Yeah,
what? You don't need a podcast for that. If you're tuning in for that, you're a moron. You're not ready. You need a simpler podcast.
Things.
The two cricket podcasts.
Yeah, you should listen to my other podcast, Words.
Okay, so this one's an insect. You see the picture? Okay.
All right, I want to give a little shout out today. I know we're a week late on this, but we record the podcast a week late. A few days ago, my friend, Forrest, you know him as well, Michael Gudinski died in his sleep, heart attack. He was a tremendous promoter. He promoted my big shows in Australia, the biggest shows I ever did. I think I was his first major comedy show that he ever did.
That level. I think maybe because, him and Taylor.
He had just gotten
partner,
into comedy. Now, this guy promoted Taylor Swift and Elton John and Paul McCartney. Taylor Swift first.
She's big. She's huge.
She's huge.
Bruce he was doing the Taylor Swift stuff right when he died.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen wrote a really nice thing after he passed away. Foo Fighters did, like all these different bands. Like wasn't he responsible for like the person bringing the big acts to Australia? Really,
he had bands, Midnight Oil, Cold Chisel, Kylie Minogue. He managed and produced all their albums.
Wow.
But without him, it's like you guys wouldn't have had Madonna came there in the 80s.
Even without the promoting, he was a big manager for all these big acts and had a record label, Mushroom. And then before that, when I was a kid in Australia, big bands didn't come out to Australia and do stadiums and stuff like that until Michael Gudinski did it. People didn't make the trip. So he was a big part of the Australian music scene. He'll be sorely missed, and I just wanted to give him a little shout out here on the podcast. Not that you're listening, Michael.
In spirit.
But he was a fun man. We went gambling with him. And he one time he was gambling and I was betting like $100 a hand. He was betting like $5,000 a hand, and then it went up to $10,000 a hand. I was telling he didn't really know how to play blackjack right. I assumed he played before, but he was making bad hits. He was making bad hits, and then he goes, "I'm going off the bar. Just keep betting my hand." It was $10,000 a hand, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just keep going. And then he came back up like $200,000, and I don't know, I've done it, Michael. Just take the money now.
Yeah.
Gambling with somebody else's money sounds
I was
fucking
gambling with
awesome.
my own money as well, but
you were gambling with your own money. We were in a room that you'd have to walk through the high roller suite and then through another door, and then you were just in a room by yourself,
a secret room,
like just us and like the people on the show, the people that you're Andrew Taylor and I can't remember.
My brother and my nephew were there.
Yeah. And so we were just having like drinks and like watching your gambling, and the limit for the table was so high they had to make an exception that let you gamble.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy wants to gamble $100 a hand, which was already like
a nice gamble.
Sure, we'll let the pros in.
No, they were like, let's get okay, we'll make an exception.
But the second time I went there, I was down like $2,000, and then I went, fuck it, I'll do $1,000 a hand, and then I remember I was in front of my nephew, and like my nephew was looking at me like, oh, Uncle Jim's a degenerate.
Yeah, I remember you were making him bet for you or play for you, and you're like, "Are you sure, Uncle Jeffrey? Oh, jeez, oh shucks."
Yeah, he's a fighter pilot now for the military, and he's too nervous to gamble for me. Good luck, Australia.
This guy's a fucking pussy.
But yeah, you always had a fun time with Michael.
He was a great guy. Sorely missed.
Yep.
Jack, what do you got for us?
I got it. Now I know about that. Maybe.
All right. I always like a now we don't know about that.
I'll be questioning the group.
Now I know about that, maybe.
Oh, no, it's mostly now we don't know about that.
I have forgotten we've done this episode.
We've done a lot of topics.
This is the topic of evolution, which we did with Richard Dawkins.
Ah, yes, I remember that. Back from when I was a wee tadpole.
Ooh, that's the first question.
Now, this first question, you know the answer, but you had such a difficult time explaining it without using the word in the definition. I want to see if you can do it now.
Oh, God.
What is a species?
Fucking, it's different animals. Different animals are different species. You see what I mean? Like me,
You see what he means?
You see what he means?
me and you are the same animal.
Species.
No, I'm not going to use the word. Me and you are the same animal, Jack.
Okay.
It's hard to tell, but we are. And then a tiger is different from you. It's a different species.
Imagine Jim writing the dictionary. Just like, you see what I mean? Every definition.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the dictionary's been like this. You know this one.
It's just
I
like
already got this
Look
one.
around.
Why are you reading this?
a definition I found online that I thought was pretty clear is a group of organisms that share a genetic heritage are able to interbreed and create
Then we're not a
offspring.
species. Me and you. We can't interbreed.
No, we can't.
Well,
That's always been my dream. For me and Jack to have a child. I wouldn't carry it, of course.
I mean, amazing hair.
Yeah, Jack
hair.
would walk around pregnant like this. I've had sex.
wait,
Everybody, I got the proof.
Jack would totally be the one that's walking around with his hand on his lower back the whole time, just like,
Yeah, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
we're pregnant.
Jack would be getting on buses not to go anywhere, just to get a seat.
Just somebody be nice to
Yeah,
me.
can I have a seat, please? Thank you, stranger. All right, next question. Who is Alfred
wait,
Russell
that,
Wallace?
That was the whole thing? That was the whole definition of species?
Yeah.
That was just a short one.
What did Richard Dawkins say?
Something similar.
Okay.
Alfred
Russell Wallace.
Russell Wallace. I think I said in the thing he was a guy who freed Scotland. I think I was wrong.
Doesn't have anything to do with evolution, so yes. you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to say that he was the bloke before Darwin who started documenting that we're evolving.
Similar. He's the other. He also discovered evolution independently, but after Darwin, 20 years later.
Yeah.
But Alfred sent his findings to Darwin. Darwin's like, oh shit, this guy's gonna publish before me. So Darwin quickly wrote his stuff together, and then they released their findings at the same time.
Is Jack the only person on this podcast that retains information? Because I don't even remember hearing about this.
No. I had to rewatch the episode.
That's what I know. I know most of these, I think. Yeah.
I don't retain anything, clearly.
No, I have forgotten all this.
Next question.
What is the Scopes monkey trial? And no, it's not the monkey hangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Hartlepool, right? What happened was
No.
I'm still getting DMs about that. Here's what happened. I'm like, we know.
the French, right? They had a monkey on there.
No. Scopes monkey
Yeah,
trial.
but this is so much funner. And they dressed him up as a fucking military guy.
They thought it was funny.
And then he washed up on the shore, and they thought that's what a Frenchman looked like, and they hung the cunt.
Because he couldn't answer the questions.
Monkey hangers.
Are you a spy?
That's French.
I think he's saying croissant.
French monkeys are like this. Banana.
So the Scopes monkey trial was in Tennessee in 1925, and that's when it was illegal to teach evolution in schools. And it was kind of a trial that was just sort of put on to protest that law. He ended up losing. Scopes was the teacher, and he was fined a whopping $100, which now would actually be $1,500. So that sucks.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks. Do you know the significance of the fuck? I've practiced the pronunciation yesterday. Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx.
You've got it in front of you.
Archaeopteryx.
I keep, dude. It's a weird word.
It's just a big word.
It's got letters together that shouldn't be.
Do I know the significance of it?
Yeah, or what it is.
No, I can't remember anything about that.
Yeah.
Forrest, do you know it?
I've never heard the word
so
before in my life.
it was a fossilized bird that was like a link within that explained evolution. There was a link that was missing that bridged from one gap to another.
From like dinosaurs to birds.
Yeah, that was discovered.
It was like the Rosetta Stone, the same things.
I forget where it was discovered, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that info.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't here for this episode.
You look like a Bond villain right now.
He's petting a dog.
Yeah, in a swivel chair.
All right, last question. Do you remember what Richard Dawkins' dinner party fact was?
Yes, I do. Thanks for asking.
I remember that he tweeted it out before the episode came out.
Yeah.
Like he told it to us and we were like, wow, that's a great fact. And then I looked on his Twitter and it was like the next day he was like, yeah, bam.
I
was like,
think it was a little long-winded, wasn't it, for a dinner party?
No,
fact?
it's pretty good.
It
It's pretty short.
It was pretty short, yeah.
Oh. We have more in common with some animal than they have with another animal, and it's a weird animal.
Yeah.
We have
Good.
more in common with a dogfish or
Oh,
catfish.
catfish has more in common with us than it has with a dogfish.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Crushing it.
You used the term closer cousin because you said, I think the dogfish and catfish have more in common, more things to talk about.
Wait, what was
Yeah, I
exactly?
said
Can you
that
read
The
it out
proper
again?
phrasing is you are closer cousin with a catfish than a catfish is to a dogfish.
There was this thing when I was in South Africa at the top of Table Mountain in Cape Town. They have these little animals called derbies, and they're little tiny furry things. To me, they look like small wombats, right? And maybe large, but they're little derbies. And the big thing that the South Africans like to tell you: do you know that their closest cousin is the elephant? And that blows your mind. So if you want, there's one for you. The derby's closest cousin is the elephant.
Luis,
And
put a
then with
picture of both
manatees.
of them on screen.
Manatees and elephants.
He's going to hate this episode
close.
so much.
Yeah, Richard Dawkins sitting at home going, "They learned nothing."
All right.
That's it.
All right.
All right.
Let's read
You
some
guys did
ads.
okay.
You know what? We all shop online, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We all do it. We all shop online. Not my dad. He doesn't shop online.
Mm-hmm.
He would if he could figure it out. Geez, those porn companies would be booming if you could crack the code on how to do it. We all shop online, and we've seen that promo code field taunt us at checkout. I always say that. They go, "You got any promo codes?" I'm like, "Why would I have a promo code?" And then I start putting in gibberish. Nothing comes. Nothing comes.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. IDK. What does that even mean? But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. We're now living in the future, Honey. Honey is the free browser extension that scores the internet. Scours like this. Ooh, internet.
Hydrogol.
No,
Oh,
that's scowls.
Stop scouring the internet. Oh, I don't like you, internet. Scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one to find to your cart.
It applies the best one it finds to your cart.
Yeah, the best one gets in there.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites, tech, gaming products, and popular fashion brands, and even food delivery. Imagine you're shopping at one of your favorite sites. Everyone do that. I'll play some music. You get into checkout. I'm happy about my purchase. Geez, I'm happy about my purchase. I want to buy it. Ah, fuck, there's a coupon code, and I don't have the fucking coupon. Then you go to checkout. The Honey thing drops down and just applies the coupon. It says applies coupons. You hit on it. Bang, you're getting savings. You go from happy to extraordinarily happy. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for the coupons and finds the site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll just watch the prices drop. If you don't already have Honey, that's what I say. That's my fan base is called now the Honeys.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They know how like they look at little monsters
So the
and
IDCat
stuff.
listeners are the honeys.
Yeah, all right, Honeys. You listening, Honey?
Oh.
If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing on free savings. It's literally free to install in a few seconds. If you take more than a few seconds, it will cost more. But if you do it quickly, it's literally free. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free and join honey.com/IDK. That's one of these codes.
That's the address. Join Honey.
Yeah, joinhoney.com/IDK. That's join honey. No, I'll say it once. That's joinhoney.com/IDK.
Yeah.
Do it.
You're a moron if you don't have honey.
What are you waiting for?
It's just free money.
Savings.
I use it all. I use it constantly.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're shopping with Honey,
Yeah.
you might go to a different site and want to buy some Green Chef. Green Chef is the first USDA. Now, we all know what that means. That means the United States of America. Certified
That is
organic
so
milk.
stupid. Why did I laugh so hard at that?
Yeah, United States of America.
That's like how the Italian Americans say, "The America."
Yeah, America. Hey, United States of America.
Gabagoo.
Yeah, they probably have a great gabagool here. Oh, the Green Chef gabagool is like no other gabagool you ever eat.
United States Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In America.
United States of America.
Ah, okay.
Certified organic meat meal kit company. Enjoy. Enjoy clean ingredients
What
you
was
can
that
trust.
sentence?
Enjoy clean ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced at their peak freshness. Not overripe, not underripe. Peak. Ingredients comes pre-measured, pre-portioned, and mostly prepped, so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying delicious home-cooked meals. Green Chef makes eating easy and affordable with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, or any of the other Jackson 5.
I'm so proud of himself.
Is that your favorite joke ever? Yeah.
Wow, Green Chef is really getting bang for their buck right now.
The names aren't even close to it. No. Like Tito and
You heard
Keto.
keto and
Tito and Cleto.
And
Toledo.
And
Balanced.
if you did, if you have been with Green Chef and you're not with them anymore, they want you back. No, if you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, or just looking to eat healthier, there's a range of recipes to suit any diets or preference. Green Chef is the first ever keto meal kit in the market. It makes sticking to low-carb lifestyle easy and recipes averaging only 14 net carbs a day. Green Chef's vegan and vegetarian recipes are high in plant proteins because they're vegetarian and rich in omega-3s. Experts find that following a plant-based diet decreases the possibility of high blood pressure and boosts your immune system. Green Chef is the most sustainable meal kit, offsetting 100% of its direct carbon emissions and plastic packaging in every box, so you can feel great about what you're eating and how it got to the table. Go to greenchef.com/90. Why would it be 90? I'm sure we'll find out later in this sentence. Go to greenchef.com/90. I don't know. The full words. I don't know. I as in I, not as in I. I don't know. And use the promo code 90. I don't know. And it is all making sense now, kids. $90 off, including, it can't be free shipping. That would be, free shipping. Again, go to greenchef.com/90. I don't know. And use the promo code 90. I don't know to get $90 off, including free shipping. And we thank Green Chef for sponsoring this podcast.
All right, so let's introduce our guest for today. Please welcome to the show, Meredith Koop.
G'day, Meredith. Now we're going to play a little game called Judging a Book by Its Cover.
We have a song.
Judging a book by its
How'd you say
cover.
Because we've never gotten it right. Why are we going to get it right now?
I think we can get it right.
Okay.
We
One of
have
these
it. We
days
have
we'll
it
get
in
it
us.
right.
Episode
Okay.
45. We're close.
Yeah.
Is it 45?
It's something. It's in the 40s. We're in
It's
the 40s.
44.
Yeah. Episode 45 is the winner. That's the one we're going to get right.
yeah.
When you bring on Gene Simmons in all of his makeup and I have to guess who he is.
Okay, so Jim's going to ask you some yes or no questions and try and guess what you're here to talk about. So.
Okay. Your room is very nondescript.
Yes.
You may be a minimalist. Are we talking about minimalists?
No.
No? Okay. Curtains, door. You're wearing
Curtains,
a
door.
top. You got a necklace. You're wearing earrings. I got no. Okay. So do you give lectures? I always ask this question. Do you give lectures?
No, not really.
Not even
no.
in your personal life? You don't tell people off for things?
Yeah. For sure. For
Yeah,
sure. For
I'm
sure.
very judgmental.
Control-free, judgmental person. Yes.
Have you written books?
No.
No, you haven't written books. Are you a doctor? You look very doctorish.
Oh my God. No.
What, was that offensive? Was that
No,
offensive?
It
No,
says a
it makes
compliment.
me happy.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Not
No,
like
I'm not a
not like a
doctor.
surgeon. You look like you might take care of feet or something. I don't know. Okay, so you're not a doctor. Do you work in entertainment?
It's related to entertainment. It's
It's adjacent, but no.
yeah.
Has it got something to do with our physical well-being?
It depends who you ask.
Forrest, give me a hint.
I think it's something that you sometimes pride yourself in if you have to. Yeah.
I pride myself
Well,
in
like
this.
you'll be aware of this subject. Like you'll just be like, okay, I have to like I have to be aware of.
I pride myself in the sense that I know a lot about it. I pride myself in that I do this subject.
Once in a while, you'll get involved and the rest of the time, you're just not. You don't give a shit about this at all.
Oh, you're a professional wrestler.
Okay, I'll give you a roundabout hint. We saw Ringo Starr at a place. We saw him
fashion design.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Holy
pride
shit.
myself in it.
No, I'm just once in a while you get dressed up.
The most I pride myself in is that I can dress myself. And I've had stylists on the Jim Jefferies show who gave me a lot of nice suits, so I have a lot of suits.
And I get the stuff he doesn't want.
Yeah, and Jack has the same shoe size as me, so Jack has a lot of boots that I used to wear. If I get I've got a wardrobe full of boots that they gave me for that show, and if I get like a blister, I go, here you go, Jack. And Jack scurries off going, I got paid this week.
I have the shoes you got married in.
Yeah, you have the shoes I got married in. I walked down the aisle with a limp. I was bleeding into my sock.
Let me give Meredith a proper introduction. Meredith Koop is an acclaimed fashion stylist and strategic consultant. She's been profiled in she has been profiled in the New York Times and Vogue. Koop is best known for her work with longtime client Michelle Obama. Koop curated the content of the former First Lady's message into a dynamic and impactful wardrobe during her tenure in the White House. In addition to styling, Koop consults with brands and companies that aim to have a positive cultural impact via sustainable or charitable mission. Instagram, you can find her at Meredith Koop. That's Koop.
Okay, I know a bit about Michelle Obama and what fashion she likes. You buy her a lot
okay.
of J. Crew.
Can you
Anything that shows off the guns, she loves the guns out.
can you just tell us a little bit about yourself though, Meredith? Like before we get into that, like about like how what led you to be in the world of fashion, like how that worked out.
Yeah, for sure. So I didn't study fashion. I didn't come from a quote unquote fashionable family. Per se. So I kind of fell into it. I started working at a very high-end boutique in Chicago. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I moved to Chicago after college, and I worked at this very, very fancy schmancy boutique. And that's where I connected with Michelle and became her stylist. I was sort of like the assistant stylist for the first year of the administration, and then became her full-time stylist in 2010.
I think she was the most fashionable first lady we ever had. I think hands down, right?
I think about that outfit from this year's inauguration.
Oh, no,
Are you
O.
responsible
Jackie O was
for
good.
that?
Yes,
I
indeed.
mean, incredible.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
It was just like, damn, she's a badass. Like she just looked powerful in that outfit. And
this year's inauguration?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a maroon outfit with this belt. Oh my God, she looked so incredible. And it's like, it's crazy to think how much fashion can impact how we perceive somebody. And really,
sure.
I mean, she's been so fashionable.
Yeah, that is a cool outfit. We can put that on YouTube.
He's like, wait,
I don't know how to describe it. It looks, because she's next to Barack, and Barack's just like in a black trench coat, whatever, and she looks like a superhero.
Incredible. Yeah.
Like, it looks awesome. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
Right.
If I was to dress her, it would be a black t-shirt, a leather jacket, and some ill-fitting jeans and some Converse.
That's it.
Perfect. You're hired.
Okay, so we're going to ask Jim what he knows about fashion. We have some questions we're going to prod him along
I
with.
just told you everything I know about fashion.
That was it. That's all I got.
And then at the end of that, you're going to grade him, Meredith, 0 through 10, 10 being the best on his accuracy. Kelly's going to grade him on confidence. I'm going to grade him on et cetera. We're going to add those up. And if you get 21 through 30, Shantae, you stay.
Shantae, you
11
stay.
through 20, sachet away. 0 through 10, khakis and Crocs.
Khakis and Crocs, the old Ron Jeremy
Crocs?
outfit.
Yeah, that's the worst one. That's the worst category. Yeah, it's the worst category. So.
Crocs are kind of hot right now, though.
Then my son's in fashion. That's all he wants to wear. I go put on some shoes. We're going to go to the park. Don't put on Crocs. We're going to be running around. And he looks at me like I'm, oh, God, all right.
So do his socks, fine.
Yeah, go get me some socks.
They are comfortable.
I've never worn them.
They're comfortable, yeah. Okay, Jim, what is fashion?
Fashion is clothes, not just clothes. It's the idea of wearing clothes in a particular way to make you look more stylistic.
Okay.
And it's something that moves with the times. It's also an environmental nightmare. If we all just went, if we all just went back to Korag, right, the caveman, and just went, all right, so animal skins, okay, just over the shoulder, one shoulder. We're doing one shoulder in a club. That's still in fashion, right? But then we kept on moving and moving. All those clothes have to be thrown away, and all those big designer clothes. They have to. They don't sell all of them. They have to be chucked away. It's an environmental nightmare. Fashion. Okay. I'm not blaming you. You're just.
Oh no, I'm on the same.
You're
page,
just part of the problem. You're not the problem.
Yeah, I perpetuate the problem. No.
Name as many designers as you can.
All day.
All day. Okay.
All day.
Fruit of the
Target.
Loom.
Walmart. Let's start with the A's.
Let's start with the A's.
All right. Armani.
Yeah.
That was fun. B's. Burberry is the B.
Okay.
C, Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
D, Cristiano Dior.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Dior.
Pretty good at this.
E.
We don't have to do all the letters, but I do E.
He's committed.
Get to X.
Oh God, E.
Xavier.
Oh,
E's a tough one.
E. I've probably got some stuff with E's. What's the name of that clothing brand that we advertise here?
Fabletics.
It's a F. I know what to do when I get to F.
Designers, though. Fabletics is not a designer.
Have you tried the Flugelbinder? I'll tell you. All right, so I don't have an E. Okay, so we'll go Versace.
Yeah.
Armani, Versace. John Bavardis.
That's the one that we were talking.
My favorite two are John Bavardis and Paul Smith. Paul Smith. Tom Ford is another big one. J. Crew. I've got J. Crew suits, man.
Is J. Crew a designer?
I don't think J. Crew is considered a designer.
J. Crew.
It's just a brand. So Theory's not a designer either. Okay, so I got to name actual
Swatch.
people. Swatch was all right, wasn't it? I think I named a few. I think we can say that I can name designers. I know who designers.
Who decides the year's trends?
I think it's got a lot to do with the actual designers themselves. They put it out there. They tell us what we want, and then we wear them. And I think magazines used to perpetuate what we wanted. They used to go, okay, this is in and that's not out. Right. And then every year we have a color. I remember like when my son was first born, lime green. And now if you've seen in lime green, you're an idiot. I don't know what the color this year is.
Okay, I was going to say, can you name 3 trends that have been popular in the last year?
I'll tell you a trend that I'm happy that isn't popular anymore. When I first moved to Britain, ponchos. We were wearing ponchos fucking everywhere. What the fuck was all that?
A long time ago.
I know, but thank God that didn't last long. And the other one where they wore those pilot pads that puffed out the side with high heels. Everything's like, come on, you get down to business. You know, trying to get undressed and you got shoes and a thing. Too much to take off.
Okay, last year. What are 3
Okay,
trends?
last year. My fashion has stopped since my son was born. So up to 8 years ago, I really knew about fashion, and now I don't keep up.
Yeah.
Bunch of Spider-Man shirts.
I believe, Spider-Man t-shirts, Mandalorian-based products, anything with Baby Yoda on it is of the last.
It's very fashionable.
So I'm going to say. I believe flares are coming back. That's a new thing that's coming back, which I don't really want because I'm a skinny jean guy, right?
So flared, okay.
Flares are coming back just recently. And what's another thing that's been
masks?
Yeah, masks.
Super fashionable.
Masks are a big thing. Sweatpants in the last year. Because have you found that last year there's been like a stop in fashion because everyone's not been going out? So who gives a shit? So we've all just gone back to. All right, we'll talk about that.
It depends. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think I hope fedoras are out. Oh God! Anytime I see a anytime I see a person wearing a fucking fedora, oh God! I know I don't want to be friends with them, male or female. There's only about 2 hats that are socially acceptable, and the rest of them you can piss off. I bought a bucket hat the other day though, a Kangol bucket hat.
All right.
I like a bucket hat.
Wait, you bought a bucket hat and you have strong feelings about a fedora?
They're fun to golf in, and when you're holidaying, I was in Hawaii.
Are you fucking
and
kidding
bucket
me?
hats are back, baby.
No.
Yeah, bucket hat gang.
I don't care if bucket hats are back, baby.
Okay.
Fuck bucket hats.
I bought a Kangol one. I'm going to buy an Adidas one as well to mix it up. One casual, one for going out. Bucket hat.
All right, let's continue on.
I got one with anchors.
I asked you if you could name anything. The next question, can you name anything that from a trend from the past that is making a comeback? You said flares. We'll just
flares are coming out.
Flares is your answer for everything.
I was very into scarves for a while. Pretty Green, Pretty Green. There's a brand, Liam Gallagher's brand, Pretty Green. Do you like Pretty Green?
Yeah,
I
know of it. Yeah, my partner's really into it because he loves Oasis.
Yeah, Pretty Green. They had a great range of sort of scarves to make you look like a mod and all that sort of stuff. But I can only wear a scarf when I'm really thin, so you can look like you're Steve Tyler or something like that. The fat man with a scarf, not good.
I'll tell you another thing that's not good is suspenders. You have to either be really fat or skinny. You can't be in the middle.
Oh, I got to tell you, with suspenders, I think now that Larry King's dead, I'm selling all my suspender stocks. I feel like suspender sales are way down now that Larry King's dead.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few more questions, and some of these we can ask as we're talking to Meredith. So, I'll mispronounce this. What is it? Haute couture? What? How do you say it?
Haute couture.
Haute couture. What is haute couture?
I might be wrong. I believe that's the stuff that is on the catwalk, which is meant to give you a vision of what you can do, but not the stuff you actually wear out. It's sort of like the Lady Gaga version of a dress rather than the actual dress that you're going to wear.
Okay, and the work and study space of a haute couture fashion designer is called a blank.
Sweatshop.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Here, I'll ask you a couple
I'll tell you what has come back in the last which has come back is more retro sneakers. It's like we always used to buy the new pair of Jordans and now everyone's gone back to the Jordan 1s. Is that a thing? I don't know. That's fashion for me anyway.
I'm going to ask you a few more questions. Like I said, I'm going to ask some of these as we're talking to Meredith, so I shouldn't have to sit there the whole time. When did women start wearing pants like regularly?
When did women start wearing pants?
Yeah.
All right. So, so Hillary was, she was running in the 2016 election. No, I'm going to say when did women start wearing pants? Okay. I just watched the movie 9 to 5 again on Hulu the other day, and and they're all walking to it, coming in the van. And the whole opening sequence is that song with just women's legs walking along to work, all in dresses with shoes. Yeah. So that was in the mid 80s. So I'm going to say that wasn't a commonplace thing. I'm sure women wore pants before that. We've always had pants wearing people, jeans and what? Did jeans count?
Okay. Well, just give me an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to. They were definitely wearing pants in the 70s, like jeans and flares and that type of stuff. So I'll say the 70s. In the 60s, I never remember sort of seeing like at a Beatles concert women wearing pants. No.
Okay.
Oh, is that all the Beatles concerts?
Right.
I'm very old. No, there's footage. There's footage. There's loads of it.
What does the French? I mispronounce everything. What does the French phrase "pret-à-porter"? What is that?
Pret-à-porter.
Yeah, pret-à-porter.
Pret-à-porter. I don't know what it means, but pret-à-manger is my favorite sandwich company in the UK.
Great. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll just ask this real quick. What do you call the diamond-shaped pattern often seen on socks?
Oh, Argyle.
Argyle. Okay.
Nice.
What is a cold shoulder silhouette?
I can even give you houndstooth as a pattern
I
as
didn't
well.
ask you about houndstooth. What is a cold shoulder silhouette?
It's where you have a top that is only over one shoulder and the other shoulder is exposed.
Look at that.
Do the multiple choice question.
Oh yeah, okay. Multiple choice, and then we'll get to Meredith here. Where would you wear? I know how to pronounce this one actually. I think. Where would you wear an espadrille? A, on your head. B, on your neck. C, on your feet. D, on your fingers.
I believe it's on your fingers.
Okay.
Oh no, it might be on your neck. Oh God,
fingers or neck?
I think it's one of these little fingerless. It could be. I'm going to go neck. Change my neck.
All right, Meredith. We're going to ask some more questions, but how do you think Jim is as far as fashion 0 through 10?
I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah. Knew a lot of designers, but
I wasn't sure like what your knowledge base was. So I was kind of surprised by some of that you knew some things. So I think 10 is the best. 10 is like perfect. So I think maybe like a 6.5.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Right,
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, she asked me, I was like, do you have any questions about the show? She's like, okay, what's Jim's knowledge of fashion? And I was like, here's the thing.
I own a lot of black t-shirts, a lot of leather jackets. I used to.
But you have like one picture like on the internet. I think it's like your Wikipedia. I don't know. You just have this one picture where you're like in a suit. You're like in a desert or something.
From the TV show.
That's a Tom Ford suit. That button doesn't do up anymore. I tried to put it on the other day for a Zoom meeting. That was a proper meeting, and that button does not work no more. But that was for the Jim Jefferies show. It was a Tom Ford suit, and I still have that suit. Yeah, it's a good one.
The stylists on that show were
That was a $5,000 suit.
Yeah.
So
you always looked top notch.
That was the best thing I got out of that show.
Yeah.
Although there was for the last season, didn't they pitch some crazy outfits
to fix the ratings or whatever? We're in the last season. Like our ratings were fine. But they were like, oh, we got to get John Oliver ratings in. What's going? Because John Oliver wears these stupid plaid shirts with these jackets or whatever. Whatever, it's fine. And I liked me black suit with the white shirts. That was what I had. And they go, how about you wear younger clothes? I didn't like when Conan did it, when he went over to younger people clothes. And I was like, just the suit, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be picking my fashion every week. I just wanted an outfit where I go, da-da, superhero outfit.
I remember seeing the deck of like proposed outfits and I was like, what the fuck? Like there was one that was completely paisley. Shirt, pants, everything was completely paisley. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing
here? There was
a
lot of suede, brown, camel-colored stuff.
Yeah. They really leaned into the leather, the suede, all that. Yeah, bad.
I used to wear All Saints on the regular, and then when I got a bit of money, I went over to the Vivardis, and when I get poorer again, I'll go back to the All Saints. That's going to be my 5-year plan.
Wow.
It's a good plan.
Short.
Yeah, by the way, if you were wondering how he guessed fashion, because I just said Ringo Starr, we didn't even explain that.
Yeah.
That was at
John Vivardis.
At a concert.
Because you know how John Vivardis have always rock stars that they do the fashion things and that type of stuff. So we had Ringo Starr was that one. But then they had like one of them, the model was Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? Was Willie ever known for? It turns out long plaits are in.
Yeah.
How did he do on confidence, Kelly?
I'd give him a 6 on confidence.
6, okay. 12.5 total. Okay, I'm going to give you a 10 and et cetera. So, Shantae, you stay.
All right.
Wow.
All right. I watch RuPaul's Drag
I
Race.
just wanted to say Shantae, stay.
That's the most impressive thing about RuPaul's Drag Race is not that they're drag queens, it's that they make their outfits. Like being a drag queen is very impressive, but that they make their own outfits. I'm like, these are seamstress, man. They're well done. Is seamstress a dirty word? Is that bad?
No.
Okay. I didn't know.
Not in my book, but.
I didn't know someone would go, they're not called seamstress anymore.
It's like cook versus chef.
Yeah.
Called stitch professionals.
Tailor is the word I use. Tailor.
Yeah, I you go when I had that suit actually fitted. They took me to Tom Ford before the show, and they did that. It's the only time in my life I got put on a box. And like a couple
with
of
the like three-way mirror.
Three-way mirror all around me. I stood up on a box, and then there was a person with that sort of flat chalk that was coming up and doing all the flat chalk, and just 2 gay guys that were sitting behind me like this, going, cuffs or no cuffs? Cuffs are back. Cuffs are back in, and cuffs were out for a very long time. Cuffs on pants are a thing, but does he need a high cuff or a low cuff?
All right, let's I'll get to the questions.
We went for low cuff. Ready for another ad?
Ready.
Oh, the fellas in the house say ho, ho.
Oh.
Yeah, if you're in your car, say ho. Turn to your wife and say ho. Now apologize because that's not what we're talking about. The sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and your wardrobe. Your fit needs to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so that you look as good as you feel. Oh, I don't want to look that good, that bad. I want to look better than I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, God. For that, there's Cuts Clothing. They take classic men's fashion staple, a plain tee, and refine it, combining premium quality with minimalist aesthetic. Cuts shirts, polos, hoodies, crew shirts are made for the man who works hard, plays hard, and never settles for less.
Why are you laughing, Jack?
All in the sport of business. Jack doesn't like watching me read.
Aesthetic? Are you laughing at aesthetic? Yeah. It works. It's fine.
Yeah, Jack.
Very, very. Yeah.
I don't want to look how Jack feels. Do they have a lonely outfit? Bastard.
Arnie, you read the ad.
Oh, let's start again. I've been too mean to Jack.
No, you can leave that in.
Keep going.
People want it.
Built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, or the gym, Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. Take a plain tee, but make it Tony Stark. The bleeding edge of fabric technology meets the man confident enough to wear it. Cuts Clothing. Okay, they gave us some cuts. Yep. I got to tell you, good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got everything in large and I put it on and went, oh, it's a bit tight. And then I remember I've gotten fat. I have to go up to the extra large because of the COVID. My COVID cut is different from my regular cut.
Very comfortable though.
And the material is ooh.
Yeah.
It's like sleeping. It's like sleeping in a cloud. Don't do that in a car. Cuts is premium with a purpose. Each piece of clothing is designed to with custom engineered fabric expertly graded for the perfect fit, arming you for every challenge and opportunity. So you might have a challenge in your life. What's a challenge you've got in your life right now? You're trying to renovate your garage, aren't you?
I was gonna say that, but that's not
Well, when you wear your cuts,
always.
though,
Losing weight, Cuts has an outfit for you.
No, I know. I have it. I've been working out in it.
Yeah, they have several outfits as you get better.
Yeah.
It's not just a lifestyle, it's a clothing. Not just a clothing. Oh, what is not just a clothing? It's an office leisure apparel for the sport of business.
Ooh.
You're out there.
He's a businessman.
It's dog eat dog. You're out there. You got to get business done. Wear your Cuts. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/IDK. That's cutclothing.com/IDK for 15% off. The only shirt worth wearing. That was in a magazine. They said that. The only shirt worth
GQ
wearing.
said it, I believe.
I think it may be the best T-shirts I've ever owned. I'm not kidding. Maybe the best T-shirts I've ever owned.
It's very nice.
Cuts.
So what is fashion? Ask Jim. Like he said, clothes, stylistic moves with the times, environmental nightmare. Is there like an actual definition, or like what should we think about when we think of fashion? Like the word.
Well, that was actually I thought what you said was really good. Actually, I was like, that's a cool way to think about it, because I think, it's like the word fashion has a couple different meanings. The fashion in which you do something. So it is kind of like the style of the times. But I think when you think of the times, like when you're talking about, in the caveman days, this is what you wore. Like time is think of it like in a longer trajectory. That's how I think about it, not just like the trends of the year or the trends of the last decade, but kind of like when we're going to be looking back in history, the fashion of that era, But it is, if you look up the definition in the dictionary, I think it's something like the style of a culture in a certain time period. So yeah, it's not necessarily revolving around trends per se, but more just the general cultural acceptance of something. But it is also, it is an environmental nightmare, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever use the term fashion victim?
Nah, not really.
Come on, do you have a style that you gave someone that you look back on it now 5 or 6 years later and you go, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, myself. I looked a hot mess at a lot of points in my life. So that's why I don't have a lot of judgy fashion energy in me, because I've made a lot of personal mistakes. But I think that's the other thing with it. Like trends are interesting, but a lot of times following trends results in like regret. So I'm not a huge trend person.
My biggest hate in fashion is when if you show too many name brands written across your chest, like it just says Gucci, and then you have the Gucci shoes and the thing, and I don't like that. That's a big turn off for me, because you're just saying money. I've got money. Look at my money.
Yeah,
I think I do wear pretty green T-shirts that say pretty green. I think sometimes I wear like a Nike swoosh or something like that. That's more leisure wear though, isn't it? So that's a different thing.
Yeah,
but people have been, that's what's so interesting, because like people have been doing that across like centuries. Like there's been certain dyes that only rich people had access to. So if you were wearing like this certain purple dye, everybody knew you were rich, So we've been like signaling to other people that we either have money or don't have money based on what we wear.
Well, see, there's the Hugo Boss theory, right? So Hugo Boss designed all the Nazis' outfits, right?
Yeah.
And he was a Nazi, And then he sort of died soon after the war, and then they still kept going with it. He must have been a good designer. I'll tell you what, he must have been a hell of a designer for them to go, don't even worry, because he was a full-on Nazi. He was a member of the Nazi Party before they were popular, before they got into power. He was
a Nazi hipster.
He was a ground roots Nazi.
Wow.
And they still have I still buy stuff. I'm still in. I'm like, all right, well.
So would you say he's your favorite Nazi?
I will say yes. My favorite Nazi of all time is Hugo Boss or the last Pope before this one.
I do like the choices.
Who decides like the trends though? You just mentioned that. Like Jim was saying, it's designers magazines. Like I always imagine.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it's like, again, things are more complicated and complex than they seem. So yes, designers will put out collections, but they're getting information from different organizations that are forecasting trends. And those forecasts are based on what's going on in our culture. It could be ties to like, different shifts in organizations. Like it's more complicated. And I'm not a trend forecaster. I know some, but there are a lot of organizations that are forecasting trends. People forecast trends in fashion and technology. They're looking at what's happening in culture and where they think we're going to move in the future. And they're coming up with these trends that are then funneled out to designers, and they're basing collections on some of that information, depending on the designer. I mean, there's so many designers in the world that it's a mixed bag how they approach.
So when you say a trend forecaster, is that their job, or is it just a person like an influencer on Instagram?
It's a job. There are organizations and companies that are trend forecasting companies.
Oh, wow.
How do they make money?
Yeah.
Then? How does that? Who pays them?
That's a good question. And I don't know the answer to that, but that is an interesting question that might affect what they are in fact forecasting.
Illuminati.
Right.
I saw that. What's that? Who's that guy, New York bloke? Rachel from Friends worked for him. He makes all the red and...
Ralph Lauren?
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
I saw the documentary on Ralph Lauren, which was on HBO, right? And he was just like, he wasn't even like a fashion, he had no history in fashion. It was just like, everyone's like, I went to a party at the Hamptons. This guy is so cool. You gotta meet this guy's like, he's so cool. And then people were writing articles like, there's this guy who's really cool.
and he just started making clothes?
No, he was just a guy who dressed fashionably, who people talked about a lot. And he still does. He shows up and goes, oh, pop the collar. And they're like, boom, oh, Ralph. Ralph, you've done it again. His name's Ralph. There was
but Loren is a good.
Loren's all right. But my mate, Ralph. You got to check out Ralph.
Ralph's got some killer flip-flops.
Yeah, Ralph is the most fashionable bloke you've ever met. All the women like Ralph. And he was like 5'5", and he was like a little tiny fella that was really fashionable. It's kind of odd.
I asked Jim if he can name 3 trends that have been popular in the last year. He said flares and sweatpants. How's he doing?
That one was a little.
That's why.
I don't know. The last year, like because of quarantine, because of the global pandemic, definitely sweatsuits. I don't know if you've seen people in tie-dye more. Like you see a lot of people in tie-dye sweatsuits.
Oh, Jack's coming back in. Jack, my assistant who's doing the sound today, he loves
is he wearing a tie-dye sweatsuit?
He loves a tie-dye t-shirt.
He loves the Grateful Dead.
He's not wearing the kind you think, though.
Yeah. He's wearing one that he bought from a guy from a truck.
Yeah,
he's
a
a Grateful Dead concert.
That's cool, though. That's cool. I love tie-dye.
I made one in my garage.
Because Jason Sudeikis was wearing that.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis was wearing the tie-dye for the Golden Globes, and that he had a hoodie. And I looked at it, and I go, I bet you that hoodie's worth a lot of money. That's like a really expensive tie-dye hoodie that he's wearing. So that's interesting. Yeah, tie-dye.
Oh, the other thing you said, Jim, you were talking about bucket hats. Bucket hats have actually had like a pretty big comeback.
Yeah, that's
Boom,
upsetting.
shakalaka.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
So you might be a fashion trendsetter. You might be,
I'm telling you, I just thought Buckethead. I saw one bloke on the beach wearing a bucket hat. Buckethead was the guitarist for Guns N' Roses for a while.
I dare you for the rest of this week, every day.
It comes tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So
I haven't got it yet.
So okay.
I think I wanted just a cotton one, but I think I bought one of those furry ones. Yeah. It's really bad.
Oh, no.
I looked at the picture. So that's what I'm saying.
Bought a furry bucket hat?
I hasn't come yet, but I believe it is from the picture I started because I showed it to my wife. I said, I bought myself a bucket hat. She goes, a furry one? I wouldn't have bought a furry one. I'm not an idiot.
I dare you to post an Instagram story every day. Just one story wearing the bucket hat.
It's a Kangol bucket hat.
Yeah,
black,
as one does.
And I want to get an Adidas, just a simple one, because I used to wear an Adidas one in Britain when I was hip.
Damn.
And I want to get an Adidas, just simple bucket hat.
I used to wear them on a boat when I worked on a boat.
Pretty Green has about 7 bucket hats out at the moment, all covered in paisley. Too flashy. I'm just dipping my toe in the water with a basic furry one.
Okay.
I like the idea that the bucket hat itself isn't too flashy, but if it's paisley, nope. Too flashy.
I used to have a reversible bucket hat that was black on one side and then
Whoa.
paisley on the other
What?
side.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And so you could go, oh, am I partying or am I just going to work?
Right. 2 for 1.
It's
work at
my
the car
business
wash?
bucket hat.
Business on the outside, party on the inside.
Okay, so
Went
tie-dye,
well with my mullet.
bucket hats, anything else? Sweatsuits, yeah. I guess they'd have to be. Right?
Sweatsuits, sets, things that are oversized, especially for women. There's like a lot of oversized, kind of like Billie Eilish.
Is that because they've become fat in quarantine?
Yes.
Well, it's like,
I mean, that's a
to
theory.
answer this, yes.
it turns out Billie Eilish has been pregnant all the time.
It's like all the hype brand stuff that people line up on like Sunset Boulevard for.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's fucking annoying. Supreme. The
Yeah.
line outside of Supreme
Huge.
all
Oh,
the time
Supreme
is
All those
So-
clothes are oversized. All of them.
Because I grew up in an era of the oversized clothes. I grew up in the really, really baggy jeans.
Yeah.
You could fit
Yeah.
two legs into one, and you wore them a little bit lower, and you did the crisscross jeans. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I remember when that was happening, thinking, well, this is shit.
Yeah.
One time my brother came home. I know he's listening to the podcast, and so Scott, I'm not trying to rip on you. And if any of your friends are listening, but it was the mid-'80s. It was the mid-'80s. My brother bought a pair of MC Hammer pants, and I remember thinking, oh no, this is a white guy in Australia. Oh God, I don't think he ever wore them. It was just an impulse buy.
Jenkos, those
Yeah,
were the pants.
I was just going to
Jenkos.
say, Jinkos were the big thing when
Yeah.
I was growing up, and God, they were so hideous.
I had
And it
a
was
pair.
just a
They were good
Jinkos
for-
with the wallet chain.
No, I didn't have a wallet chain.
Oh,
no.
Little wallet chain.
That was always the thing, because they were super popular when I lived in Canada, and that was like there was a grunge aesthetic at the time, and it was just the big
They were
oversized
like
jeans.
They were like for raving and stuff like too.
Oh, they were for fucking partying
I'll tell you
in
one
Canada.
thing that never goes out of fashion, and it beats all fashion all the time. Just a pair of Converse. They last. They live.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
cockroaches. You can get rid of everything. Converse still survive.
Yeah, that you're actually not wrong about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I asked you what haute couture is, and you said it's stuff on the catwalk. It's the vision, but not the actual fashion. And then I asked you what the work and study space of a haute couture fashion designer is called. You said sweatshop. How did Jim do on that? Is that correct? The haute couture.
He did not do well on that.
I had to get something wrong. What is that?
I had to get something wrong.
Could you get a 6.5? I've gotten everything right up until now. And then I was about to go, if I got a 6.5, you could all fuck off. I'll storm out and smash the place up.
No, you didn't have the trends.
I did. I've got the trend sweatpants and
You were
bloody.
just like everything you had it, but it was like.
It was kind of
So it was
like you've heard of clothes before.
All right, so before we answer this question, what is it called when they do the extreme thing on the catwalk where people come out in a bubble dress and just nipple clamps, and then they go, "Oh, that's someone's dressed in
fashion show.
Yeah, fashion show.
Fashion
a fashion
show?
show. But what is that? Because no one buys that stuff, do they? No one ever buys it.
Well,
It's meant to be a.
You would be surprised. There are people with lots of money and a very high interest in fashion that are buying pieces straight from the runway, directly from the designer, which is what haute couture is. It's custom made clothing that you commission and is made specifically for you, to your measurements, to your preferences.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
So when someone wears a
Yeah.
dress to the Oscars, that could be a haute couture.
Could be,
haute
but
couture.
like there's like there are the couture shows, which are separate from the other fashion shows that are like the most high end, the most beautiful, the most, well, maybe not the most beautiful, but the most technically advanced. These are things that like very, very wealthy people are buying these pieces directly from the designer. So yeah. And some celebrities do wear couture, some don't. It depends.
And so the work and the study space of this is not called a sweatshop, right?
It's not called a sweatshop. It's called an atelier.
Which is a fancy word for sweatshop.
Which is French for
shop of sweat.
So people that work in an atelier are like very experienced tailors. And I mean, these are people that particularly in France, this is a very prestigious to work in an atelier with a designer making these clothes.
I work in the atelier. Sometimes when I get hungry, I eat my croissant filled with Nutella at the atelier.
Here's a question I didn't ask, and I guess I'll just keep mispronouncing everything. Jim, let's see if you can answer this. What is how do you say that? How do you say that word?
Which one?
EPAU, epaulette.
Epaulette.
What is an epaulette, and who might be found with one on their clothing, Jim?
Oh, an epaulette. I do know this. It's like the collar of your shirts, of your jackets.
So who would be found wearing one on their clothing?
Oh, an epaulette. Epaulette. No. It's the military thing on the side of your jackets. On the shoulder strap, those little straps on the shoulder of your jackets, and they're originally built so that you can put like a beret in there when you're not on patrol, and you can button it down and put it up into your shoulder. Am I right?
Yeah, and they also, it's like it displays. It's almost,
and
you know what I was thinking of? It's like displaying your rank.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time, epaulettes in the military, they'll have different stripes or stuff hanging down or whatever.
You know, that reminds me of those members-only jackets.
I have a lot of military jackets that have those,
The members-only jackets used to have they were a version of that. There was like a button that you put there. And when I was in school, those were in fashion, but I couldn't afford one. And then they made a comeback, and it made me angry because then I was like, fuck these jackets.
I'll tell you a color that's in fashion right now. Everywhere I go, every comedian, army green. Wearing like a military green jacket.
It's comedians aren't pushing fashion.
Who's the most fashionable comedian?
Me.
Who's the most fashionable?
But you show up to a comedy. No, I showed up to a comedy show. It was like me, Whitney Cummings, and somebody else. I don't know, right? And everyone, we look like the cast of MASH.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like it that green color, and they kept on dressing me for when I did the field pieces in that military green. So I'm telling you,
yeah, who would be the most fashionable comedian?
The most fashionable comedian. All right, I'll do this. This is a fun question.
There was a list of the top 25, but it's from 2013.
Yeah, no. Eddie Murphy had terrible choices, but they were out there. The purple leather outfit with a scarf.
Sinbad. Remember?
Yeah,
he used to wear those.
Larry the Cable Guy with the cut-off sleeves.
Fashionable.
Icon.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God. Pardon me, epaulette. I think a lot of the females are very fashionable people. They get, like Nikki Glaser puts a lot of work into her outfits. Whitney Cummings is always very well dressed. I think a lot of them are.
Whitney's a lot of animal-based fashion. A lot of horse shirts.
No, but Nikki is a big vegan person. So my wife's a vegan. So I used to, when I dated women before my wife, I used to always just buy a pair of Louboutin shoes once a year and then buy them a handbag, and then I'm done. I'm the best boyfriend in the world, right? That's all you do, right? Birthday, Christmas, sorted. I didn't have to think. I threw money at the problem and I walked away, right? But now with the vegan wife, oh my God, pain in the ass.
You have to be thoughtful.
All I do is Stella McCartney gets a workout in my house. I tell you, Stella McCartney, whenever I'm in trouble, come on, Stella. Fix this for me, Stella. Because she's your number one vegan designer. Is there any other vegan designers that you could help me out with?
Oh, yeah. There's other there's an Australian designer named Maggie Marilyn. Oh. She does, I don't know if she makes footwear and bags if you're looking for like a faux leather vibe, but she makes clothing.
Write that down for me, Jet. Maggie what?
Maggie Marilyn.
Maggie Marilyn.
All right, Maggie.
Oh, you know what? No, she's from New Zealand. I'm sorry.
Just scribble it out. Burning it. It's on fire. Oh, no. I don't have enough leather to make these shoes, bro. Let's just make it out of cotton.
But there's a lot of smaller emerging designers that are sustainable. So you can widen your gifting.
Is Stella, is she a popular thing, the McCartney? Is that a big one?
Yeah, she's definitely popular. Yeah.
This list
If
says
only she had a head start in life. She pulled herself up from the bootstraps.
Made of vegan leather.
some of the comedians they were saying was Eddie Izzard.
Eddie
Russell Brand.
No.
As fashionable?
Russell Brand was very fashionable.
Yeah, he's
Russell
fashionable.
Brand was so fashionable that other people who weren't Russell Brand were trying to dress like Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Our friend Amos Gill tried to dress like Russell Brand.
He does look like
I remember
Russell
X Factor was on British TV. I was living out there and Russell was really hitting. This is about 2006.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of the guys who was winning it, they went there and he just put pictures of Russell Brand down like, this is who I want to look like.
Yeah.
You know, so
Aziz Ansari is mentioned a lot, but he switched his look up.
I don't get a mention, leather jackets all
You're not
the
in
time.
any of these lists.
Yeah,
Not in any of these lists.
Bizarre. That's bizarre.
Definitely. This one just says Richard Pryor, a master of casual flamboyance.
Yeah, but Richard Pryor, he wore gold shoes. At one of his specials, I got gold shoes.
Okay, I asked you where would you wear an espadrille, and I gave you multiple choice, and you said you were going between finger and neck. I know that you're wrong on this. This is one of the questions I actually knew.
I'm kind of surprised. I feel like you may have had a pair of espadrilles in your life.
That's pair of pants.
No, still wrong. Still wrong.
That wasn't even an option.
Yeah, legs was
It's
not
a
a
shoe.
choice.
It's a shoe.
Espadrille.
It's got a canvas top, and then it kind of looks like rope on the bottom.
They're like
and then a
boat
rubber
shoes
sole.
almost.
Oh no.
Yeah, like
no.
those.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Put them up on the screen, Luis.
I wear. I got some leather
Like
slip-on
these guys,
ones.
like those. Like
Not
that's
with the rope. I've never
that's
done
a
the
women's
rope.
version. Yeah.
I've owned a lot of Vans in me day, but I can't squeeze me foot in anymore. They're a bit too puffy, me foot for a Vans. I had to go back to the Converse. I was all vanned up for a while. I wear in the Converse, I wear a 10. In the Vans, I have to wear a 10.5. It's fucking ludicrous.
Ooh, you got a puffy foot.
Yeah, I got a puffy ass foot, man.
Was this before or after I hit your foot with a golf ball?
Yeah. Jack hit me in the foot with a golf ball at full speed. And I was standing next to him, not in front of him.
like 5 feet away. I
Yeah,
was right there.
I was-
Now like 10 feet. Yeah.
what?
I was maybe 8 degrees in front of him to the side.
Okay.
Oh, it was a hell of a shank.
Yeah, he shanked it straight into my bloody foot, and I had to
Oh.
limp around.
That's the guy for
Wow.
making fun of me before I hit it.
What
Yeah,
did
well.
how did I make
I
fun
think
of
you guys were just teasing me for whatever reason. Then shanked.
Virgin.
Yeah, we always tease you.
Yeah.
When did women start regularly wearing pants? Jim said the 70s.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting the way you broke it down because it did make sense. Like logically, you were on a path, but
You were going somewhere.
Yeah, that was for all my Q listeners out there. The date has moved back to September 4th. Because that's the thing with Q, right? They had the March 4th, it didn't happen, right? Stop making your deadline so short. Enjoy your conspiracy. Go, it's going to be
2026.
September 24 or something. Have a good run.
But so you were like regularly women started wearing pants in the mid 20th century. So you were somewhere.
Oh, so
You
in
were
the
there.
19th. I was saying on the regular though. I don't
But
know.
what
man.
was it like? So they weren't even allowed. Like, what would happen? That kind of like.
Well, I think in the 19th century, and I'm not a fashion historian per se, but like in the 19th century, pants existed. Like women would wear pants, but would they wear them in public? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know that there was a punishment or anything like that. I just think it wasn't culturally accepted.
I know you just said you're not a historian. I'm just curious. Like jeans. When did jeans? Like I remember, like you look at
so
like photos back at, huh?
They're so uncomfortable.
I like
Oh,
jeans.
I love
Yeah,
jeans.
I think
jeans.
jeans are so uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it's like such a thing now. Like jeans are such a part of like just.
But they
casual fashion.
find like 150-year-old Levi's and they go at auction for lots of money. They
Yeah.
found some down a
Levi's,
mine
yeah.
shaft.
Yeah, but that's probably what they're probably working clothes. back then.
Why were they taken off in a mine shaft? There was a couple of blokes that were down there going, "We've been down here for a very long time. It's getting kind of
They were
hot."
probably hot. It probably got hot.
And then they had sex and they went, "Let's not even put our pants back on. Let's just show society who we are." They walked out.
What does the French phrase pret-a-porter, porter?
Oh, we didn't learn when jeans came in. We have to learn that. Do we learn?
I didn't. She might not. I didn't. It wasn't a question. I just.
Oh, well, I don't know. Like,
She's not a historian.
I'm not a historian, so I can't be like, okay, this is fact. But I'm pretty sure it was, Levi Strauss, and I believe it was worn at first for farming.
Yeah.
That denim was created as part of a good thing to wear when you're farming.
It's like a utility fabric.
This is the thing I will say about fashion, which I wish they would just stop, right? Let's just, because like men, it's suits. Women in fashion is so broad, but like for business wear, it's just suits. And so you go from double-breasted, 2 buttons, 3 buttons, 1 button, big lapels, small lapels. Like just pick a fucking one. Because I own 20 from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, the shoulder pads.
And I want them just to stay like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to come to a wedding and people will be like, oh, fucking hell, you see the suit he's wearing.
Really? 2 buttons?
And then they do this. They go wider with a tie, thinner with a tie, paper thin with a tie, big knot, small knot. Like, it's variations on the same thing. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you need to establish your style and go with that.
Will they ever bring back hats with horns on them, like the Vikings had? That would be something I'd be well down for.
Yeah, well, didn't that guy wear one during the Capitol?
Pussy hats were pretty big.
What were?
Pussy hats.
Oh,
Pussy hats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You and Flavor Flav can wear those hats. John.
Also, here's one.
With a big clock.
I feel like lingerie doesn't move much. I feel like it stays pretty stationary. Like it goes garter belts, but they go floral pattern. Then it'll go like meshy thing. Yeah, I bought lots of lingerie over the years.
What about chastity belts? I mean, are you still rocking with those?
That's changed. I wouldn't have a kid if they still had those bloody things.
So what is that? What did that? You said you didn't know what that phrase meant. Pret-a-porter.
No, I know.
I'm mispronouncing it. Jim did.
I said pret-a-manger. You know what pret-a-porter means.
I don't know.
I know there was a movie called Pret-a-Porter, and I think I watched it. So there you go.
It's like ready to wear clothing, which means you're going to a store and you're taking it off the rack and you're going home with it. It's ready to wear.
So pret-a-manger, the sandwiches are pre-made.
Ready to eat.
Ready to eat.
There you go. You were on the track. You were going somewhere.
Wait, so that means like off the rack? That's a way better way to say that then. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. That's how I wear clothing. So.
Well, the French language.
This is
Pret-a-Porter. Do you not appreciate the French language?
Yeah, I just Pret-a-Porter. Yeah,
Pret-a-Porter. Go to Target for
Pret-a-Porter. I went to Target. No, it's Target.
I went to Target. Hey, did I get the Argyle socks right?
Diamond shaped pattern, often seen on socks.
Yeah, you sure did.
I got them all. Gingham, houndstooth. You could ask me any of those.
Gingham style.
Yeah, gingham.
Yeah.
You know gingham. It's a little tiny. Gingham's the little tiny checkers like a tablecloth, almost like a picnic blanket. Yeah, I got some gingham.
Houndstooth?
Houndstooth is a squiggly pattern that's got, normally in black and white. There's a company called David Jones in Australia, which used to be the big department store in Australia. They still are there. And houndstooth pattern. If you Google it, it'll tell you.
Please put it up on the screen.
Here's another question. Here's another question we didn't ask, Jim. So, what is inclusive sizing?
Inclusive sizing. It's where the designers make stuff for the fatties.
Oh, come on.
It's.
I think that's not the spirit of inclusive sizing.
That's the gist.
What's the spirit?
That's going to be my fashion brand. It's going to be called Boomba Clothing.
The spirit is just that it can also be, inclusive sizing means including more people. So it could even be petite sizing. It could be, size up to 24 and beyond. Because
those fashion designers, they've never included the petite. Get the fuck out. I grew up in the era of heroin chic modeling. We used to include the heroin addicts.
Yeah, there is that weird thing sometimes when you're shopping for clothes and I'm bigger, obviously, and then but they're like, this is an extra large, and then this is an extra large in this one. You're like, these aren't even close. Like they're just it's just up in the air for the designer to be like, we can do whatever we want.
I mean, sizing, is so not consistent between any brand. It's like
even
how
in
do
the
you,
same brand.
My stylist said that I was very easy to dress because I was 6 foot and I was a certain weight and I was pretty easy to buy clothes for. Except I have little tiny stumpy legs and a big I have little short legs. They always had to be adjusted.
Oh, you got a long torso.
I got a long torso, little tiny legs on me. And I can't wear.
That's not the right proportions,
my torso is so long that I can't wear certain bomber jackets because they look like a midriff. They sit up a bit high. I have one from Paul Smith that used to sit up, like if I raised my arms, it went above my belly button, and it was just like, oh.
What is a cold shoulder silhouette? Jim said it's when there's just one strap over a shoulder. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's not actually what it is, but I like that answer.
Yeah, I thought he nailed it. The confidence was, I was like, wow, he got it.
Yeah, he was like, yes, I know this. But it's, okay, you know what I was thinking of? Did you see where Dolly Parton just put out a video, speaking of 9 to 5, Dolly Parton just put out a video of her being vaccinated, and she had like these cutouts on both shoulders.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I did her There's always been rumors she has tattoos. Did she have tattoos?
Oh, they were saying that she was like
holes.
she was covering up her arms because of her tattoos. But I did see something
I
about
heard
that.
she has sleeves. That's why she always
I
wears
heard-
long
I heard
sleeves,
that,
and she
yeah.
has the tattoos. Yeah.
That's cool. I'd love to see it. But yeah, it's just got this like cutout. It's got 2 cutouts on the shoulder here.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that seems like a kind of a southern
hate
look.
a cold
too.
shoulder. I hate it so I can't even explain to you
I'm so
the
cold shouldering.
anger that I get when I see a cold shoulder thing. I'm like, why are we doing this? Either make there no shoulders or cover the shoulder. It's
I
so
like it.
annoying.
I'm looking at it.
I'm going to cut out a black t-shirt and get some cold shoulders next podcast.
With the bucket hat.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm going to cold shoulder bucket hat it up. You wait for the next podcast. It's going to be a
I can't
doozy.
wait to see.
I'm gonna be furious.
You're going to cut it yourself?
Yeah, I'm not going to buy one.
Okay.
I've got lots of t-shirts I don't use anymore.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous
Here's
for
some-
A
us.
lot of my fashion came from early Britpop music. So Oasis, the Stone Roses, and that type of stuff. When it was a lot of like, and I was living in Britain, and it was a lot of Parkers. Is Parkers still out? But that's more of a British thing, the Parker thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, parkas come and go, I would say. I mean, I think it's a standard thing too, but definitely the Brits. I mean, not you, sorry. But yeah, British people love a parka, I think.
What's an Australian fashion thing that you've recognized if you ever like, because Australians have a lot of fucking tacky things going on.
Do they? I've been there. I was there once.
Tank top.
I was there once.
Yeah, a wife beater and a
Dirty tank
shorts.
top.
That's a thing they call them in Britain, like a tank top, a singlet. They call them wife beaters.
They call them here
they
too.
call
Is that an
here.
acceptable term in the fashion industry?
I don't think we're using that anymore.
I think it's
we're
not said in a positive light. I think it's
wife pleasers now.
Here's 2 questions we didn't ask. I'm going to ask you these last 2 questions we didn't ask. Why would it be risky to wear a crinoline?
Crinoline.
Why would it be risky to wear a crinoline near a cliff on a windy day?
Because it's
It's a parachute.
because it's a hang glider. Because it'll have flappy things underneath your arms.
What is it?
It's a flappy outfit.
Yeah, it's a flappy outfit for us.
Flappy outfit. What's a crinoline?
Did you say fluffy or flappy?
Flappy.
Flappy. It can be fluffy and flappy, but for the most part, it's just flappy.
Depends what country you're in.
Yeah.
Time of day.
What's the time zone?
How cold is it? How windy is this cliff?
It's pretty windy.
Really windy.
Yeah.
It's a windy day.
I'd like to speak at this funeral. if Dave wasn't wearing his crinoline, things would have been different. But he loved to walk after dinner, and he said, "It's a bit nippy out. Give me my crinoline." He fell off the cliff. It took him 5 minutes to die before he floated out to the ocean and couldn't swim back. Damn you, crinoline!
What is a crinoline?
A crinoline is a stiff skirt looking thing. It's usually made of a something called tulle, and it makes your skirt go out further. So it's more stiff.
Oh, like that. Like it's like a cage for your skirt.
I
wouldn't say
like the hoops.
flappy.
Yeah, right there, Jim. Like these.
Yeah, like the hoop dresses, the
Yeah.
hoop things. Yeah. They wore in like Oklahoma and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you
And
might-
so if you're standing on a cliff on a windy day,
That's why they wore them in the musical Oklahoma, because it's inland and there's no cliffs.
yeah, no
And
cliffs,
and
no
it's a
wind.
very flat town.
Yeah.
It's perfect
Yeah.
crinoline weather.
Right. Many people have died wearing crinoline on cliff. That's a fact.
We need to look up the stats on that.
Okay, last question, Jim. If I am wearing a petticoat and bloomers, what century am I likely from?
Oh, Petticoat Junction. That was the Petticoats 1950s. No, 1940s.
Okay, so last century.
Yeah, last century, yeah.
Seems like it'd be older. Petticoat.
Yeah, I think I would say that's like 17th century. The more typical.
Not in Australia. We were way behind.
We didn't get the trends.
Bloomers are like those long. They're basically underwear, but the longer.
They're like long johns.
Versions.
Yeah, long johns. I have a pair of long johns that I crack out every time I perform in Canada.
But
I do when I perform in Canada in the middle of winter. I've been to places that are like 30 below, right?
Yeah.
And so I wear the long johns, but then they heat the auditorium so much that my legs, after I get off stage, I just peel off. There's just sweat running down my legs. I get thrush on the regular after a gig in Canada.
Hey, maybe don't wear the long johns.
Yeah, but then I have to go back outside and they come in handy.
How long are you spending
a car
outside?
for you.
Just don't walk to the venue.
You riding a snowmobile?
I want to have a bit of a walk.
Get dropped off at the front door.
walk faster.
They're so nice when you're outside. It's like, oh, you remember the episode of MASH where like Hawkeye got a pair of long johns and it was a whole episode. Everyone else was cold and then they heard about him. They tried to steal them off him. Classic.
Okay, so this is a part of the show called Dinner Party Facts. We ask our expert to.
Go ahead.
We ask our expert to give us one fact, obscure, interesting, that the audience can use to impress people.
Coco the monkey was named after Coco Chanel.
Oh,
No, I don't know.
It
was named after Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I didn't really know, especially Jim, like where you were at with your sort of fashion. But I think based on, and I don't know who you dine with.
Okay, I'll tell you where I'm at. I'll tell you where I'm at with my fashion. The same as I am with my sport. I like watching it. I don't like participating.
Yeah,
and this is for anyone, Meredith. This is for all the listeners, basically. Yeah.
Well, on the sustainability tip, I feel like something interesting that's being developed right now, and there are products made of it, but it's more, it's coming more into popularity, I would say, is there is a type of leather that is made from the leaves of pineapples. So it is a sustainable type of leather. And the company that does this is called, I hope I pronounce it right, because I don't always pronounce things right, but it's Pinatex. Pineapple, Pinatex.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that one.
Write it down.
That'll go good with my green spiky hat.
Yeah. Well, it is pina. It's got the little enye over the end. So pina text. Pina text. Yeah, there you go. Wow. Pineapple.
I feel like that's
leaf
like
fiber.
A cool, interesting fact. Yeah. Especially if you're into like getting away from fast fashion.
It looks good, it feels great, but the fruit flies will follow you.
Yeah, well, that's good for your problem that you were saying, trying to buy leather for your wife.
Yeah, but I like her to get active and do things herself, a bit of home craft. So I'll just buy her a few pineapples.
It looks good. It looks like leather though. I'm looking at it. It looks like leather. It comes in different colors.
It's like really beautiful. I would love
it
to have
sounds
something.
like it's going to be very expensive. Is it going to be very expensive or is it cheaper?
Well, I think right now it is a little bit pricier because things get cheaper when you make a lot of it. Things get cheaper when you make things in sweatshops. That's why people do it. So it is more expensive.
We can now, they can manufacture meat. Like they've almost got it. It's so expensive now that they can manufacture meat in labs that isn't real meat, right? They can. Why can't we?
Diamonds too.
Why can't we manufacture? What? I just spent money on a fucking diamond. Why can't we manufacture leather? Like I know we have vinyl and all that type of stuff. Pleather, yeah, but it's not quite right.
You mean so it feels and looks like leather?
Yeah, so it moves the same because vinyl doesn't move the same. It doesn't have the same sort of thing going.
Well, I think you can, but I think a lot of these things come back to the people that don't want that happening are leather people, like they're going to do everything and they have funding and, they don't want that.
Where do all the clothes that are thrown out go? Are they just in landfill or?
Ooh, that's such a good, there's so much going on with that because we're so wasteful, especially in this country. So a lot of clothes, like if you're dropping off clothes to Goodwill or wherever, and it's making you feel like you're a saint or a do-gooder or something. That's not necessarily true. A lot of clothes get shipped overseas to different countries, places where people don't have as much money and are being sold there. I watched this whole documentary about how in Haiti, all of these clothes that we give to the Goodwill are being shipped there and sold. So a lot of local artisans are losing their businesses because people are buying, Nikes and Levi's from these pieces. And there have been controversies, like you were mentioning, like designers. There have been controversies about designers burning clothing because they didn't want to, if you put something that you showed in a collection and then you're selling it at a much lesser price.
Yeah.
After, then they feel it depletes their brand or it cheapens their brand, devalues their brand. So there's been a lot, but a lot of these companies are being sort of, their feet are being more held to the fire. So they're trying to figure out how to do things a little bit better, but we're super wasteful,
Oh, unbelievable wasteful.
Yeah. I mean, fast fashion is the big thing right now where it's just like anything that you get is under $20, but it's hard to not participate in that because
you're poor.
Clothes is clothes are expensive.
But when you see like a UNICEF thing and it's in like Africa and they show the local kids and they're winning like Tampa wins the World Series T-shirts that were made in case Tampa won, and then they just get shipped out. It's like, I'll tell you what does good sustainable thing. I was reading a thing the other day which is doing very well since the internet and all that type of stuff. Board games now are pretty much being made to order. They don't have, they don't make like thousands and thousands of Monopolies, or maybe Monopoly's a bad example. But if you buy a board game, they can manufacture them in the factory and they only make them to order now. So they go out, so there's not as much waste. So board games is where it's
at. And then they've made a comeback. Board games are in now.
Because people don't really go to board game shops anymore. They just make them as they sell them.
Yeah. There's a board game shop in Glendale, or I think it's Glendale, called Game House.
Yeah.
And you can get a monthly membership. It's like $40, but you can rent any games that you want for however long you want to. And I'm like,
it's a lot of board games.
Normally you would go there and play the games there, but right now they're doing it. So
all right, we've got enough topic.
Sorry.
That was my fault. It's my fault. Yeah, Kelly, what were you thinking? Talking about board games in the middle of a
I'm
fashion
so
thing.
sorry.
Meredith, before we go, I gave your Instagram handle at Meredith Koop. That's MEREDITHKOOP. Is there anything else you'd like people to promote or anything like that? Or if people?
No, I don't have anything to promout really. Yeah.
Well, have you heard of Michelle Obama?
Oh yeah. Well, she doesn't need promotion either.
Just, help me get ahead in life.
How does a billionaire get in contact with you if they want to dress nice?
They can go to my Instagram and they can find my email and they can email me. I mean, I may or may not work with them. It kind of depends. But wait, can I ask a question before I leave?
Yeah, ask as many as you want.
Because Kelly, you said that, was it your mom worked at the White House?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My mom did work at the White House.
What did she do there? I'm just curious.
She planned parties. So she was there when Clinton was in office.
She was in the social secretary's office?
Sure. Yeah, I was in second and third grade when we lived in Virginia. So we lived there. She drove out to the White House. And I just remember that every single time any family member came to visit us, we had to do a tour of the White House because that was what we did. And I swear to God, if I saw the inside of that house one more fucking time, I was going to go nuts.
So did you get a picture with the Clintons? Do you have like a picture?
I don't think I did. We had sex, but we never got a picture.
Oh, that's the way you went. I thought I was about to do a bad joke. It's lucky you weren't eating.
Yeah, I specifically with Hillary, I meant we had sex, but
no, come on, Kelly, ring it in. Did you get a photo or not?
I don't think I have a picture with Bill Clinton.
You don't think?
I'm pretty sure I don't. I don't recall one.
You would probably know.
Yeah, you'd remember. Ask your mum.
There's no picture framed anywhere. I know that. So.
Being a party designer, though, that's the stylist of a room.
Yeah.
But you must obviously have been in the White House tons too then, right, Meredith? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was there
every day. Every day.
Yeah, a lot for a lot of years.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you probably got to go in some rooms that people don't normally get to go in as well, I would think.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's interesting. It's a really interesting place, which is why I want to know where Kelly, because I was thinking there's so many jobs there that people don't realize or don't, know about necessarily. So I was just interested where her family was.
My uncle used to work there. He was in charge of Pez.
Pez?
Yeah, he just kept
He was
the
just
stock.
the Pez guy.
Kept his stock. Like when he worked there during the Reagan administration, and everyone says that Reagan liked Jelly Bellies, and he did, but he was quite fond of Pez. Okay. And he'd have different presidential heads on his table. Well, here's a Pez. He'd say that all the time.
That's your Reagan impression?
Well. Do you know our studio is next door to the church where Ronald Reagan was married?
Oh, yeah, right there.
Right next door to
Wait,
us.
really?
Let's give away
Married
our
there?
location.
Yeah, that little tiny church right there.
Ronald Reagan was married in that little
Holy
tiny church.
shit. I love that little church.
Yeah, in Studio City. He was
I don't
married
believe
in.
in God,
Wait,
but I
to
love
Nancy
that little
he was
church.
married
To
there?
Nancy, yeah.
Ah.
Nancy was not
Wow.
Nancy. I just watched the Reagan documentary because they have pictures of him up in the church. You can go see it. But I think Nancy was knocked up, right? And I think it was a bit of a shotgun wedding. And I think this Studio City was where all the actors lived. They were both still actors at the time. And this is where all the studio stars lived in this suburb. And that was the little church. They just walked down the road and did it. So that's where the Reagans were married, was next door to this building.
I did not know that.
Dinner party fat.
I do like that church.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank you
podcast. I
so
feel
much.
enlightened.
Thank you.
Well, look, if you're ever at a party and someone goes, flares are back in, go, well, I don't know about that. and then walk off in your lime green outfit. And
With your bucket hat.
with your-
That's the thing I want to say. Lime green. Lime green is actually kind of hot. So
shit.
Not on me. It's good. It's not on me.
Yeah, I can't see that being the color for you.
I like slimming colors like black and black's good. Dark black.
Dark rooms.
you just need, you're not a trend guy. You need like, okay, I got my bucket hat. I got my black t-shirt with the cutout shoulders.
Yeah.
I got my weird jeans on with the weird flares. Like that's you.
I'll tell you another thing. I know we meant to end the podcast. I'll tell you another fashion thing that one company owns and no other company comes close is Burberry and trench coats. They just reinvent the trench coat. Because my ex, she always wanted a Burberry trench coat. And when I had her first bit of success, I went and bought her a Burberry trench coat. And then I bought myself one. And I have a black Burberry trench coat that I've never worn that hangs in the wardrobe that one day when it's raining at the right amount, I'm going to walk out, look like a detective.
It rains so infrequently here that when it does, you're just like, yeah, I'm just not going to leave today.
Well, this
like,
one's,
that's
it's
really
a
what
beautiful,
happens.
but a little bit of flair in it. If you pop the collar of this trench coat, it's got silver studs all through it.
Nah.
At the time, I thought that was cool, but I keep that folded down. Keep that folded
Gotta
down.
hide the stuff.
Hold on, I think Meredith was trying to help you. She was saying you need to go with a look is what you need. Just
Yeah,
Yeah, you need a look. You're not.
Espadrilles, bucket hat.
I have one more White House
A
question.
signature look.
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah, what's your
Jack-
White House
Jack,
question,
Meredith,
Jack?
did you ever use the bowling alley in the White House?
I never used it. I saw it.
yeah.
Sick.
I didn't know there was a bowling
It's in the
alley
basement.
Yeah, it's in the EEOB. So the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is like that big building, kind of adjacent. It's there.
Damn, Bill never took me there.
It's
Fucked up, dude.
This is fucked up.
Trump. I'd love to watch Trump bowl. It'd be like when Fred Flintstone does it. And he does little things. and then they go, all right, that's a 7-10 split. Big news. Strike.
Strike. Yeah.
He always goes in and digitally changes the
All right, you want to end the podcast again?
All right. If you're ever in the bowling alley at the White House and you say, I like those shoes, you go, I don't know about that. Anyway, good night, Australia.